This week on the Spotlight, we go back to the great Greg Maddux, 355 wins. Joe Crede, a key element in the 2005 World Series champion White Sox. And we also talk to Blackhawks from the 92 Stanley Cup Finals team. And we finish up with some White Sox from the 90s. You know that guy. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. Welcome to the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. They do it all at 108th and Kedzie. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Ballpark Pub for my trivia game. Alternate Mondays at 8 p.m. The next one, July 24th. Come eat, drink, play, and win. 514 West Pershing Road. You never know who's going to win. Great suspense in the game. See you there. Family Dentist. Lawrence Ferlin. E is the dentist. 109th and Kedzie. Crowns, veneers, cleanings, and more. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. You've got to get to Snappers Seafood and Chicken. New to Chicagoland from Florida. Tilapia, perch, catfish, shrimp. Conch from the Miami Connection, crab, Philly steak, grilled food, and much more at 115th and Western. See you at Snappers. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. You're looking at something the White Sox players haven't seen enough of this year. Run production is way, way down, as is team batting average. But let's not beat a dead horse. It's time to talk flashbacks. We're continuing our celebration of Show 1000 from now till the end of the year. Yeah, that's right. From now till the end of the year, I'm celebrating.
It was an excellent one. Melito Perez in command for most of the time he was in, but still, the Brewers had a 1-0 lead. Ozzie Guillen tripled right down the line, and then later scored on this wild pitch. It was 1-1. The key to the game was Scott Fletcher coming to the plate with the bases loaded, and he delivered this sacrifice fly, which would prove to be the game winner.
Victorious in their final opening day here at Comiskey Park.
It's going to make a difference. You'll see it from game to game sometimes on plays like that, but I think it'll really show up at halfway through the year or 3/4 of the way through the year when you think back as a pitcher individually, or if you look back as a team, the highlight films, you'll see some of those plays that they're going to end up going and getting for you. So when you see a ball come off a bat pretty good and you turn around and the first thought is, uh-oh, it's in the gap, and then you turn around and you see one of them cut it off. That's what makes you really feel good when you're out there on the mound and see that happen.
How about seeing action in the 4th decade?
VOC, right there, Pat. Victim of circumstance. A lot of guys have played 20, 24, 5 years and haven't played in 4 decades. It's just a matter of when you start. I just happen to start at the right time. If I started a year later or, 5 or 6 years earlier, that would never have happened, so.
Shooting for 5?
Ask me in August.
Can you talk about a little extra adrenaline pump, if there is such a thing, on an opening day, regardless of whether it's the last one here or anywhere?
Opening day is always pretty special. You know, it's the rebirth of America's pastime after a dormant winter, and it's pretty exciting. Just like when the apple trees blossom and the cherry trees blossom, that's a time of celebration.
Pretty poetic. Thanks.
And it was that double opener day we go from Comiskey Park to Wrigley Field. Not exactly the most scenic drive, but one that had to be made. And as we prepare to talk about the Cubs, keep one thing in mind. This is the defending National League Eastern Division champion.
Well, I think we caught a lot of people by surprise last year. I think we were a better team than people gave us credit for. I think this year people are aware of who Dwight Smith is, who Jerome Walton is, who Lloyd McClendon is, where last year I don't think they did. I don't think the opposing pitchers gave them enough respect, and it cost them.
What about people knowing who Greg Maddux is? Keeps nibbling at 20 wins. What, are the hitters a little bit different squaring in against you these days?
Well, I think most hitters take the same approach, regardless of who's pitching. They look for their pitch to hit, and if they get it, they go for it. I don't really think that means much.
Everybody's talking about the Mets and the Cardinals as the teams that are the big challengers. Is that how you see it?
Good. let them think that way. You know, we've got a good team, and I think if we play up to our capabilities, I think good things will happen to us.
Is there one key thing this year that's a little bit different than last year? Certainly, like you said, you surprised people. You won't be able to do that this time around.
Well, I think you got to pitch if you're going to win. I don't think there's any question that our everyday lineup is good. We've got one of the better everyday lineups in the division right now, and our pitching, we've got a lot of guys with a lot of ability. You look at the new guys in the rotation, and they have a lot of ability. There's a lot of things that they're capable of doing, and I think if they go out and do that, we'll surprise some people with our pitching staff this year.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furland, EDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. Joe Creedy's played great this year. On the day that Ozzie got a suspension, Creedy was asked about it and wasn't too into talking about that.
Team in the National League.
Well, it's definitely, a good sign for the team. Everybody's kind of clicking together right now, and, on the offensive side, and, the pitching's always been there, and, it's a good sign for us, and hopefully we can ride this out.
Ozzie has joked in the past that he
says things kind of to keep the focus on himself and allow you guys to just kind of do your jobs. Do you feel like he does that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, he lets you know what he feels about you, and he lets you know what your role is on the team. And you know, for a manager to do that, I mean, it means a lot to a lot of the guys on the team to know their roles, so they don't try to go out and try to do too much. And you know, it keeps you very relaxed. You know, in the dugout and during the game, he's joking around a lot, and you know, it's fun playing for him.
Is it different when he's not here?
No, because Joey takes over. You know, he doesn't miss a beat whenever Ozzy's going.
Joe, do you feel like this team is starting to get where it was, or maybe possibly surpassing as good a team you had last year? I
you know,
compare it, but I mean everybody else does.
You know, it is a different team than last year. You know, I mean, I think on the offensive side, you know, it's I think we have a little more power than we had last year, and you know, as far as, you know, comparing them to last year, you know, last year was last year, and you know, we're going to leave it at that, and you know, hopefully we can do the same as what we did last year.
How about yourself? Why are you better this year, offensively?
I don't know. Just being more selective up there, a little more patient, trying to get my pitch, and not trying to hit the pitcher's pitch up there. I think that's been the biggest difference for me.
What about your playoff?
Of the professionalism of the team, that no matter what's going on, you guys continue to go out there and do your jobs every day?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the game's always going to be there. There's always going to be off-field distractions, and you know, I think that's, you know, as a professional baseball player, I mean, that's something that you have to learn to deal with, and you know, and I think everybody here is professional enough to be able to deal with all the outfield stuff, and you know, it seems like you know, winning teams, stuff like this always happens to a winning team. Everybody wants to try to you know, find a way to break you, and you know what, this team's strong enough and professional enough to know you know, not to take what's, you know, outside the lines, inside the lines.
No batting practice before the game. Has it felt like that the last two games? That you guys just, you know, teeing off in the cage?
You know, it's just, you know, it seems like, you know, every year that I've played, you know, you always hit a stretch like this where you know, you're playing well and you didn't take batting practice, and you know what, you know, the next day you can't take batting practice either. Just a superstitious thing, and I think that's what's starting to go on right now.
I don't want to jinx it. Huh?
No, there's a lot of superstitions in baseball, and you don't want to jinx them.
Talking back about your performance for a second, last year's playoff, you know, kind of was a career statement by you, and I thought maybe the ALCS notably. Have you felt a greater degree of confidence since that point that carried over into 06?
I think it definitely helped. I mean, you know, anytime you can go out there and perform on a national stage like the World Series and the playoffs, I mean, it does nothing but help. You know, help you as a hitter, and I think, you know, I think every hitter in the league always strives to go out there and try to get that confidence instilled in them, and try to bring it into the next game. And I think it definitely helped for me personally to be able to perform on a national stage like that.
How about your comfort level defensively? And maybe comfort's the wrong word, because there was a pretty intense highlight reel that you've put together, and it's not even the halfway point. Can you talk about the way you've been playing third base this year?
I mean, you know, I haven't really done anything different than I have in the past. I mean, I'm always going to play an aggressive third base, and you know, whatever happens, happens. You know, I'm not out there to try and not make errors. I'm always out there just to try and make the play that's in front of me and try not to do too much.
And the success has been there.
That's for you to judge.
I'll finish up with a question about pitching. You know, the ERAs are a little bit up this year, but the wins are just about the same. Do you notice any difference in what's happening with your starting pitchers especially? And do you think that those ERAs can lower in the second half?
You know, we're playing pretty good baseball right now. I don't think there's too many things that you know, you could really complain about on this team. I mean, you know, Detroit's having an unbelievable year, and you know, you got to tip your hat to them. And you know, we're having a good year as well. I mean, you know, it's something that you know, we're not going to go around and start pointing fingers. I mean, we're going to go out there and play every game, you know, and just play the game and not try to worry about, you know, one aspect of our game that's particularly, you know, someone doesn't think is very good. I mean, you know, this is a team that just goes out there and competes every night, and I think that's the biggest thing for us.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and Ice Creams, with 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and a fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700.
And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget the Illinois Lottery too.
That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski.
You've got to get to the Sock live Minkowski trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great game, great people. Check out the Sock. I think you'll be glad you did when you go to my trivia game every other Thursday. 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's.
Back in the spotlight, and Jeremy Roenick's breakaway goal was certainly a highlight from last Monday night's victory at Detroit. Are we rubbing it in? How about Ed Belfour rubbing it in the face of Bob Probert? That had to be highlight number 2 for sure. Jocelyn Lemieux, though, was throwing his weight around. In the series against St. Louis, too, here he smashes Bob McGill, the ex-Hawk, and they both fall like 10 pins. Watch this slick move on a popped-up puck. Larmer battling with Roenick, but Stevie scores it, if you remember. And then Chris Chelios, unfortunately, catches it, according to his description in the papers, in the berries, and is going to take a little break here from the action. It was a very tough night for the Hawks, but a victory is a victory. Now, meanwhile, on Tuesday at the Franklin Park Ice Arena, a somewhat different crew working out. Coach Daryl Sutter talked with me at length about the Blackhawks' plans and their success in the first 8 games or so, citing discipline as a key. Also, this is the man now who in 1985 scored 2 overtime goals to help eliminate the North Stars, saying last year's frustrating loss was a key to learning their lesson. Some of the Hawks on hand. Eddie the Eagle. Belfour thrives on the work. So does Dominic Hasek. And the secret weapon, Michel Goulet. Where's he been? I predict you'll see him before the Red Wings series is over. A psychological boost. The tough guys, they should be in action. And scoring practice, very important. That's why I'm picking the Hawks in 6 to clinch it at home. Doesn't matter which big Western team they face. I think the Hawks may well be their year. Just ask this youngster. Son of Coach Daryl Sutter. Now, Mike Keenan's been under the microscope for being too tough on the team, but he's looking like a genius now. Chris Chelios, in a previous episode, describes him.
You know, things change so much over the course of the season with injuries and personality conflicts, and that had a lot to play with the changes we went through last year, with the 10 changes we went through last year. So, you know, you have to prove yourself on the ice. That's what Mike's looking for. And if you're working hard and you play the Hawk style of hockey that he likes, you're going to play. If you don't, you're not going to play. You're going to be on the bench, or there's no room for you on the team.
Well, it seems simple, seems direct, but a lot of the media seems to have a problem with it. What do you think about the media's treatment of Mike Keenan?
Well, Mike's a pretty outspoken coach. I think that everything he can attribute to is just his desire to win, and he hates to lose. And Mike sometimes carries it overboard, but that's just Mike Keenan hockey, and his record speaks for itself. He's been a successful coach. He's coached international. He's coached Team Canada twice now to their championship, and I think he turned around the Blackhawks for the better 3-4 years ago when he started the job. So, like I said, sometimes when you lose, you overreact, and that just happens, and you just have to back him. And he's representing the Blackhawks, and we have to stand behind him, and we got to play for Mike Keenan and the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I was disappointed in the bench tonight. I thought they just didn't come out aggressively and take the home court feel about going out there playing, and we didn't play them a lot of minutes in the first half. They didn't get a good feel for it, and the time they had out on the floor was some rusty minutes, so they really didn't get themselves unleashed. Second half, I thought BJ and Scott Williams gave us some lift off the bench.
It's not often that you do it. How does this change things as you go into games against yourself and the coaches?
Well, we have to get a win, first of all, against New York. Then we have to know, or we do know, that we have to win in New York. We're going to carry the series. It's a long series, and it's a process of just going about business on getting ourselves playing right.
It seems like they were so effective in mixing up their offensive and defensive game plan. You guys really didn't know what to expect next.
Well, I think the layoff really hurt us a little bit. We came out, we were tentative and a little rusty. But, Pat Riley mixed some defenses up and some offenses, and Patrick Ewing got going in the third, fourth quarter.
How would you like to see tomorrow night's game played?
Well, we know it's going to be it's the same physical way, but I think we're going to have to come out and get out the boxes a little quicker.
This team is for real. If anybody took them for granted, certainly we realize that they're a team to deal with, and we have to bounce back. We lost the home court advantage, but we can certainly gain it back. But it's going to take a lot of hard work, and you have to give New York credit. They came in with a plan. They stuck with their plan, and we certainly didn't react well. I think it was more or less us. We totally got out of rhythm with the triangle play, and we were not using our options well. We did not let the defense dictate what choices, what options we were going to use. We basically broke down the triangle every time, and you have to give the defense some credit because they're out there playing us. But I think for the most part, we were not in rhythm offensively, and it really gave them momentum and certainly hurt us.
You've got to get the Jacks. 33-25, Ridge Road in Lansing. Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. A very intense, competitive game. Any of half a dozen teams can win. My game show at Oliver's gets better and better. At 6100 West 159th Street in Oak Forest. Live trivia, alternate Thursdays at 7 p.m. Have great food, great drink, and great trivia at Oliver's. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. Trivia will be at the Sock. Alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great food, great drink, great people. Everything great. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place.
Right here, right here, right here. And a very happy Robin Ventura caps off a tremendous defensive game for himself. And the White Sox take their home opener of 1992 dramatically, with Bobby Thigpen giving that bit of a scare before recording that final out. Of course, Frank Thomas drove in Robin with the game's only run. Fine pitching by Greg Hibbert as well. Let's go talk to the victorious Southsiders.
Frank, last year it was a low-pressure year for you, and you had a spectacular season, but this year there would seem to be very high expectations. How does that affect your play?
Oh, right now I can't get concerned with that. Last couple of days I've just been trying to do things I'm not capable of doing, and that's just hit ball at the ballpark. And that's not me. I got to stay patient, hit the ball at all fields, and just take what the pitchers are giving me. And like I said, the high expectations are there, but I got to go out and prove it still. I just got to go out and play hard every day. I can't get concerned with that.
What effect do you see, or if any yet, of George Bell's presence in the lineup?
Oh, he helps a lot. He's a great hitter. He's a proven veteran, and when he's in there, he's a dangerous guy. And like today, I was really surprised. They walked me. I had the way I've been swinging the bat of late, and that was really silly. but it worked out for him. But I'm really happy George's in the lineup. He makes things a lot better for me.
Any conversations with him about approaches to hitting, going over pitchers ever?
Well, we really haven't talked that much. We've talked a little bit. You know, he's a proven vet. He knows what's going on. He knows the strike zone also, and I'm one of those guys who basically knows the same. And you know, it's a good mixture there. And we really don't have to talk about hitting too much. We just want to go out and just get the job done.
Like I say, as a pitcher, in these conditions are pretty well because I stay warm. You know, and the shorter I stay out there, the warmer I feel. But today was one of the quicker games. But I think in these conditions, I can understand why the hitters weren't really scoring runs because it's not easy to hit in this kind of weather. You know, as a pitcher, it's a little easier.
You challenge them more than I would think.
Yeah, and you pitch inside, you know. These guys are looking out of the plate and they're wanting to hit the ball and drive the ball the other way. They're not wanting to turn on it as much because if they get jammed, it doesn't feel real well. It feels like, you know, you got a glass bottle in your hands and it breaks. But I pitched in a couple times and broke their bat a couple times, and I think that set up everything.
Robin, what role did winning the Gold Glove do in changing your attitude toward defense?
I don't think it really has. I think I still have the same one I had, you know, last year, the same one this year. You know, I don't think that's going to change anything.
Offensively, George Bell's addition to the lineup, tell us what, if any, effect it's had on you.
Just another good hitter right in the lineup. I think team-wise, I think we're affected more than individually. I think it'll probably have some effects on Frank, and you know, hopefully it'll have me coming around to the plate a little more. You know, it's just a great addition for us.
Robin made some great plays at third base, probably that was the key to the game actually. And then Thiggy came in and they got a couple hits, but he did his job, saved the game for us.
When you think of how the rest of the season's going to go, this is probably not a typical game, really. How much of it was weather dictated, the low-scoring defense orientation?
I don't think probably the 1-0 is indicative of what's going to happen during the season. I think close games are going to happen here at Comiskey and whenever we go on the road probably too. I think the weather had something to do with it, but you know, when you get up there to hit, you don't think too much about the weather. So I think they're just two good pitchers out there today, and they both pitched real well.
So that about wraps it up for this week's show from the beautiful south side of Chicago.
You've got to get to Matt Anthony, a great sports bar and grill, 3350 West 47th Street. They serve La Coco's Pizza. They've got sandwiches and a full bar. And my trivia is alternate Fridays. So we'd love to see you over there. Come out to Matt Anthony's. You will definitely have a good time. You've got to get to the Wise Owl. They have pizzas, pork sliders, Cuban sandwiches, carrot soup, elote, burgers. My next trivia will be there Monday, July 17th at 8 p.m. They have great cocktails, great bartenders, easy to reach at Van Buren and Racine near UIC. I'll see you at the Wise Owl. This week's show is brought to you by the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Shop at 108th and Kedzie. Get all your car work done there like me. The Lansing Floral Shop is the place to go for all your floral needs. Call 708-474-1212. Huck Finn Restaurants, a huge menu, open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 105th and Cicero, and 67th and Pulaski. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch, very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.